Hey there, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and welcome to this week's Get More Referrals Today podcast. I want to talk to you today about service versus experience, about being able to not only provide a service, but do so much more. See, we talk all the time around you can get results for people and you can deliver in a way that they go, yeah, that's great, but in today's world, it needs to be more than that. If you want people to refer, if you want people to talk about you, if you want people to be this ranting, walking, talking, raving billboard, then you've got to actually think deeper in terms of how do you touch them in a way that in the end, the experience just blows them away. It is like this, I didn't expect this to happen type of way of thinking. Before we get into that, if this is the first time listening to the podcast, welcome. So great to have you every week. We can't wait to be able to bring you how to be able to grow your business, how to be able to become more profitable, use referrals, use strategic partners, use that limbic brain way of thinking for you to be able to make a bigger impact with your business on your clients. Make sure you subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on YouTube, Referral Marketing Guru. Join us on whatever socials you want to hang out on. And if you find this really useful, hey, just share it with one other person. That would be amazing and greatly appreciated. So let's get into where I want to go today. And there's a bit of a backstory, but then I also want to do a bit of a case study in terms of how to be able to use this and take this to a completely different level. Okay? So really today's all about how do you take what you deliver from just simply being this service, this result, this is what we do as such, to being an experience. Because when we think about it from a limbic point of view, the limbic brain only understands when it feels something. So an experience creates an emotion, creates a brain chemical. Okay, it might create dopamine, it might create oxytocin, it might create serotonin. It creates a brain chemical, which is a feeling. So that's why we're so big on the whole business from top to bottom, evoking brain chemicals in everything that you do, because then you're tapping into the limbic part of the brain. So for most people, they think about their service from the cortex part of the brain. It's very logical. It's very analytical. Hey, it makes perfect sense. But the problem is, for the part of the brain, it's boring. And if it's boring, people go, oh yeah, that's nice. And that's it. Off they go again. They're not doing the number one thing you want them to do. And that is talk about you. So you need to start thinking about your service as this, how do I create an experience? How do I create these shared moments between my business and them, the client? Because it's those shared moments which create the emotion. It's those shared moments which evoke those brain chemicals. It's those shared moments which gives them then something to be able to talk about. And for most businesses, they don't think about this at all, let alone nearly enough to how to be able to do this better. So I want you to be able to use just a recent experience as a bit of a case study here. So I'm going to use Virgin Active. They're a gym group, and the Virgin Active I go to on the beaches here, really nice club, and it has everything I need. And this isn't about being able to go what's good or what's bad about them. It's to be able to show you what they do and how they could even take it to a completely different level if they were really thinking about how do we create this experience rather than just provide the service that we offer. So they're a full fitted out gym. Let me give you some context. Okay, so they've got lots of classes, they've got a pool, they've got a plunge pool for cold therapy, they've got spas, they've got saunas, they've got PTs, they've got creche, they've got the cafe, they've got everything. Okay, so really, really good gym. And for most people, that would be enough. That's the service they provide. That's what your membership is paying for, and away you go. Now, anyone in the gym business knows there's pretty much these days a gym on every second corner and a personal trainer on just about every house type of thing. Like, it is flooded with opportunities to pick whatever gym you want, and whether you want to be able to go in the middle of the night and have 24/7 access, or whether you want a particular thing like I did in terms of recovery. So therefore, that's why I went to that particular gym. Like, there are just so many choices. And it's really easy to be able to just go, you know what, I'll go there, but when my membership's up, I'm done. And in fact, for most gyms, the turnover of members is way higher than what it ever should be. More importantly, the number of times people don't actually even use their membership is way higher than what it ever should be. Now, there's two ways to think there. The gym might go, oh, well, you've paid for your membership, and so you're going to get charged every single month whether you use it or not. And therefore, we'll just take your money, and when your time's up, we know you're going, and so we'll find someone else. Not a real good limbic way of thinking about it. Now, I don't believe that this is the way. This particular gym, I've got to know the club manager, and the club manager is a great people person. So when you first drive into this Virgin Active gym, you drive up a ramp, and they've projected a lovely sign up onto a big brick. It just says, "Hello, gorgeous." Right? Nice little touch. Right? You go up the lift, and there you are. You're always greeted with a hello with the person who's at reception, who's going to scan your card and give you a towel if you ask for a towel, and away you go. Sometimes you'll get a goodbye, other times you won't. So you can see that they've tried to be able to put in a bit of a culture around the people at the front to welcome you and to say goodbye to you. Okay? Some do it better than others, but you can tell very clearly that that is part of the training. So fantastic, tick. Then you've got a lot of trainers who are in there. Some run classes, some have personal clients in there. Some are there just walking around helping and doing little bits and pieces. Very rarely do they interact unless they feel that it could end up being where you use them as a personal trainer and pay them. So unlike the people at the front who have been very much trained for being a people person and saying hello and saying goodbye, the trainers are more so, well, if I can't see how you're going to end up paying me to be your personal trainer, I'm sort of just going to continue about my business, and away we go. Now, there's a big difference there. So you walk in and you feel really warm and fuzzy, but then throughout your experience there, it doesn't continue. Now, not a big thing, except if you're wanting the person to be able to walk out of there ranting and raving at what an experience they just had for the last 60 minutes at their gym. See, doing something at the very start when someone walks in and then nothing else, they've already forgotten that. They've already forgotten the amazing warm greeting that they had at the start by the time that they're finished. So it needs to continue, is what I would first say to them, the whole way through. Everyone has to be on the same page, whether they're at the front desk, whether they're in the cafe, whether they're walking around, whether they're doing some cleaning, whether they're fixing equipment. Everybody needs to be on the same page in terms of engagement. How do we want to engage with our members? That will lift the experience. The second big thing, and why I think a lot of people go to these sorts of gyms, is the connection they can have with other members throughout classes. Okay? At any given day, there are some, probably 60 plus classes that people could attend. And the majority of people who attend classes attend because the connection they get to make with that particular trainer, and most pick the same classes with the same person over and over and over and over again. But also, the same people tend to turn up to the same classes, and therefore they can build connection with them. Now, there's a really valuable lesson here for your business. It's actually our 9th profit accelerator. It's around how do you maximize impact through building this tribe. Instead of seeing, and in Virgin's case, instead of seeing each person as a member of Virgin, how could they start seeing them as this tribe? And they could have ways that the tribe could connect. Now, there's a tribe within this particular Virgin Active, and then there's a tribe in the next one at St. Leonard's, and then there's a tribe in the ones in the cities, and there's a tribe for the ones out east, and there's a tribe for the one in the south, and there's a tribe for the ones in Melbourne. But then there's this bigger tribe, the whole Virgin brand, Virgin Active brand. And how could you do something there? So some thoughts started popping in my head going, well, if it was me, what would I do? Well, you could run little challenges with your classes. Maybe you've got, in a way, for the people who are a little bit more competitive, maybe you've got high intensity games and people firstly get to go through their own little Virgin gym, and the winner of that or the top 3 of that get to go with everybody. It doesn't have to be right at the moment. We're just throwing out ideas. But what we're throwing out is, how do I create this tribe mentality? Because one of the biggest things that every single human wants is connection. So how does your business create connection? They don't want just connection with you. They want connection with the people who are like them. Now, if they're your clients, they're all probably going to be fairly similar in some way. So how could you connect them with the people who are like them to enhance the experience that they have with your business? And this is where all this keeps coming back to. How do we take the experience that someone has with your business to a completely different, mind-blowing, earth-shattering level, that they want to talk about you, that they want to share you, that they want the very first person that asks, they go, I've got to tell you this. And most businesses, they're not even close. It'd be lucky if 1% of businesses actually reach that level. And everyone else is a long way, like not even halfway. And it's simply because you focus on the one thing that you believe matters. The service you provide. The thing that you do. The result or the outcome you get them. And you've got to move past that. That's got to be like, it's a given that just happens. But so do hundreds of others. They provide exactly the same outcome. They provide exactly the same result. So why is it that some places, doesn't matter whether it's a product or service, have queuing up for them, and others have to hustle every single minute of the day just to survive? And it's because of the things we're talking about here. It's because of the experience that they have in that place. It's because of small little details that are remembered. It's because we know that people will always come back when they're made to feel a particular way. Now, for most businesses, they don't think to that extent. They just think about, how do I deliver in the most cost-efficient way, in the most cost-effective way, in making sure that we do what we have to do. And all of that's important. I'm not saying that it's not, but you've got to take this thinking an awful lot further than what you're doing right now. Because there are so many little changes that you could make within your business that would completely change the way you brain chemicalize the people around you. And that is when all of a sudden, word of mouth referrals will be a whole different level. And people who go, oh, we get a lot of word of mouth. You don't. Compared to what a lot of word of mouth is, hundreds a day, that's a lot of word of mouth. But if you're a business that has 1 million customers, then 100 word of mouth isn't a lot a day. So if you really want people out there talking about you and going out of their way to talk about you, then you've got to think about the overall experience that you deliver. And it can't just be, this is good. It's supposed to be good. You need to take it to a different level. So think about, how do you just do a couple of things. How do you enhance the experience? How do you enhance this community tribe mentality? And how do you enhance creating brain chemicals between you and them through shared moments? And when you start doing that, all of a sudden, you're going to see a completely different type of client with you. Hopefully that's helpful and thought-provoking, because every single business can evolve to do this at a completely different level. If it's something you want to shoot the breeze with, find out a bit more in terms of some ideas, hey, throw me over your business. Tell me what you do. And I'll come up with some ideas straight away that you can start looking at and going, how could we do that? Okay, guys, till next time. Can't wait to see you next week. In the meantime, have an amazing week, but more importantly, make the impact that your business is there to do. Till next time, take care, guys. Speak soon.